ancient lava flows 8 to 10 million years ago. Six to 8 million years ago, the Oak Creek Fault again became active. Erosion along this fault zone slowly carved out the modern-day canyon. It is still carving today. In early October, there are still signs of summer. However, fall is slowly taking hold of the landscape. The most popular hike within the canyon is a trail that leads up the West Fork of Oak Creek. The walls are narrow, the ambiance tranquil. The West Fork joins the main river 6 miles down from the north end of the canyon. The trail up the West Fork runs 3 miles, but for those with a more adventurous spirit, the canyon extends another 11. The hours of protective shade and the river's moist soil is what makes this oasis possible in an otherwise arid region. Heading south downriver, the canyon widens. It is now midday, and the sound of grasshoppers fill the air. Layers of white limestone are replaced with more colorful sandstone. The widened canyon means an increase in direct sunlight. As a result, the landscape becomes increasingly barren. Tributaries and natural springs converge with Oak Creek. As the canyon widens, so does the river. Perhaps Oak Creek's most famous spot is found midway down the canyon. Slide Rock State Park is home to a series of cascading waterfalls, stunning red rock, and a world-class water slide. On the south end of the canyon, Grasshopper Point is one of the river's last accessible sites before it flows into the community of Sedona. It embodies the south end of the canyon, increasingly broad and progressively arid. High above the rim, the warmth of the late afternoon sun summons small thunderheads. On this day, the clouds prove harmless. Their shadows dance innocently across the canyon vista. The waters of Oak Creek lured human inhabitants to this region over 11,000 years ago. Since that time, it has been a small ribbon in the landscape, reaching out far beyond its borders. As day turns into evening, serenity envelops the canyon. Towering walls above mask the sun from the valley floor, and once again, Oak Creek returns to the shelter of the canyon. Its healing waters renew and rejuvenate as each drop journeys to the sea. As the last rays of sunlight shine over the western slope, darkness will again overcome the canyon. A mere flicker along the spectrum of time, another day is over. In the shadow of solitude, the canyon sleeps. To learn more about Oak Creek Canyon or to obtain a copy of this program, please visit arizonastateofmind.org. The Arizona Heart Institute is a proud sponsor of Arizona State of Mind, working to save lives, restore health, and ensure patients can continue to discover Arizona's amazing natural beauty. It's hard to improve upon the wonders of nature. Nature's Inventory harnesses nature's natural remedies. Nature's Inventory's all-natural wellness oils is a natural sponsor of Arizona State of Mind. Enjoy Arizona for years to come. Learn about cardiovascular disease prevention. CVMD.org, the Cardiovascular Multimedia Information Network, is a proud sponsor of Arizona State of Mind. Additional support was made possible by VAS Communications, working to educate the nation's youth about cardiovascular health, and by Velocity Logistics, your full-service logistics partner.
Southern Hemisphere Solar Eclipse. Presented by Science at NASA. Something strange is about to happen to sunbeams in the Southern Hemisphere. On Sunday, February 26th, the moon will pass in front of the sun, transforming rays of sunlight across parts of South America, Southern Africa, and Antarctica into fat crescents and thin rings of light. It's a solar eclipse in which the moon will cover as much as 99% of the sun. Millions of people will be able to witness the event since the eclipse zone encompasses more than 24 countries in 3 continents. There are 3 types of solar eclipses. The first is a total eclipse. The moon completely covers the blinding disk of the sun. The sun's ghostly outer atmosphere, called the corona, springs into view, mesmerizing onlookers in the path of totality. The second is a partial eclipse. The moon crosses in front of the sun off-center, leaving a crescent-shaped portion of the sun visible. And the third is an annular eclipse. The moon crosses in front of the sun dead center, but the lunar disk does not completely block the sun. The edge of the sun juts out on all sides of the moon, creating a bright ring of fire. There are also instances when an eclipse is a hybrid between the first and third types, a total/annular eclipse. This occurs when the curve of the Earth results in the eclipse path moving between the eclipse's total and annular shadows. A total eclipse can change to an annular eclipse or vice versa along sections of the eclipse path. This eclipse will be an annular eclipse, with a narrow path of annularity snaking across 5 countries: Chile and Argentina in South America, and Angola, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Zambia in Africa. People in those countries can see the ring of fire for almost a minute and a half. Outside that path, the eclipse will be partial. This means the sun will turn into a crescent, a slender one near the path of annularity and a fatter one away from it. Caution: the ring of sunlight throughout the eclipse is blindingly bright. Even though most of the sun's disk will be covered, do not attempt to observe the eclipse directly with the naked eye. Observers still need to use a solar filter or some type of projection technique. A widely available filter is number 14 welder's glass or darker. Another option is to look at the sun-dappled ground beneath leafy trees. The sight of 1,000 crescent-shaped sunbeams swaying back and forth on a grassy lawn or sidewalk is unforgettable. Astronomers are excited about this eclipse, mainly because it brings us closer to another one we've been anticipating for years, the total solar eclipse of August 21st, 2017. On that date, the moon will completely cover the sun for a total eclipse visible in the United States from coast to coast, in easy driving distance of 100 million people. If the weather accommodates, it should be the best observed eclipse in the history of astronomy. Let the countdown begin. For more news about eclipses and other celestial phenomena, stay tuned to science.nasa.gov.
I look forward to spring training every year because of the weather, the amenities here, the ballpark, but best of all, the fans. It's one of the friendliest complexes around.
Here's the pitch and a line drive right to second. He delivers the sinker, swinging a liner off the glove of the first baseman.
I love the park, I love the people, I love the ball players. It is a fantastic place.
Peoria loves you.
What are you doing?
Happy Valentine's Day!
Oh, oh, thank you so much.
Peoria loves you.
Oh, thank you. Yay.
Peoria loves you. Thank you. I love you guys too. Appreciate it. Peoria loves you. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks. I'll give you a high five. Yeah. No handshake, but a high five. So that's great. Thank you for doing that. So.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wow. Awesome.
Oh, thank
Interested
you.
in the show?
Of
course.
Thank you. Enjoy. Thank you. You're welcome. Happy Valentine's Day. Have fun. He's like, thank you. Oh, there's a smile. Thank you. You're welcome.
Peoria loves you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How you doing?
Peoria loves you. Oh, thank
Happy
you.
Valentine's Day. Alright, thanks. Peoria loves you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Peoria loves you. I just want you to know that. First and foremost.
Thank you.
Peoria loves
Yeah,
you.
so then just make sure
Peoria
that.
loves you.
Oh, thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Peoria loves you, as well as other people I can clearly see.
Oh my gosh! You're on camera! I made it! Have pink on! Perfect! Thank you.
Peoria loves you.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. Wow.
I love it.
Isn't it?
Goes a long way.
We'll be together, whatever.
I'm gonna buy her gifts.
Oh, gifts.
Not yet.
Not yet. So you're
You know
working
how
on it.
long we've been married?
How many years have you been married?
54 years. And guess what?
54 years.
For 54 years, she has helped to make my life worth living.
Are you getting all this good stuff?
Oh, yes, that's awesome.
Well, what are you going to get for Valentine's Day? For your
She's
Valentine's
surprise them.
So we got surprises. We're working on. Are you going to go out to eat later?
Oh, yeah, we
You're
will.
going to celebrate your love?
We're gonna go out to eat. We'll probably play cards. Well, we'll have a good
So
time.
what's the secret? What's the secret to your successful?
Disagreements and everything through marriage, but you make up and you work things out.
To me, the secret is she's got to be the most important person in my life.
Absolutely.
And that's the secret.
We'll be together. We'll be together.
Yay! Thank you for being here. We say how much we appreciate you from the city of Peoria. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, we gotta march.
See, they're still working out. Look at that.
Have to, yeah.
Don't stop moving.
Happy Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's to you.
Nice and sweaty here. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We'll be together.
Riding the slingshot to Bennu.
This meeting will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Carlin.
Here.
Vice Mayor Binsbacher.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hunt.
Here.
Councilmember Patena.
Here.
Councilmember Finn.
Here.
Councilmember Edwards.
Here.
Council Liaison Johnson.
Here.
And Council Liaison Gilbertson.
Here. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council special meeting of April 2nd, which happens to be the birthday of Vice Mayor Bridget Binsbacher, and you can tell by this crown that she should wear, actually.
Thank you, Mayor.
We have 2 items on our study session agenda this evening, and we are going to begin with a community center update. I'll turn it over to City Manager Jeff Tyne.
Great. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council, for this opportunity. This is an item that was brought to our attention by Councilmember Patena, who had requested an update on some of the important activity and improvements that are planned at the community center. So for those that aren't aware, our community center, very close to our city hall, here has been an important hub for, to Peoria for such areas as social engagement, learning, and human services. We're lucky enough to have Chris Hallett, our Neighborhood and Human Services Director, and his staff here to provide you an update on the information that the center provides and also plans for expansion. So with that, I'll pass it over to Mr. Hallett.
Thank you, Mr. Tyne. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. And again, I want to thank Councilmember Patena for inviting us here to do this update on a wonderful resource we really have here in Peoria that's doing great things out there. And I have 2 of the subject matter experts with me today. I have Superintendent Paula Considine, who runs the community center and all the wonderful programs and services we deliver there today, and Human Services Coordinator Debbie Pearson, who will go over kind of what we expect from it as we move forward after the construction. And it's great to be here on the heels of the Livability Initiative discussion just at the last meeting. You know, we're going to focus a lot on some healthy neighborhoods. There'll be transportation and superior customer service efforts that will resonate throughout this presentation. As I said, Paula's going to go over and focus on a diverse set of inclusionary types of program and services we do provide through the community center. So I'll hand it over to Paula.
Thank you, Mayor and Council members. There's 3 primary components that take place at the community center, and as you can see, it's the community engagement, our active adults, and our adaptive program. The community center has been an anchor for the city for over 35 years and has since become a destination point for residents to visit in the downtown area, not only for the citywide events, but for the many programs now offered. This can be seen by the over 193,000 people who visited the center in fiscal year 18. This alone is an increase of 11% from the previous year. Not only are the residents visiting the center, they are using the center for personal rentals and civic organization meetings and special events. As can be seen with the 3,203 hours that the building was used for community and private rentals. The community center offers a variety of amenities that include the banquet hall, meeting space, our fitness and game room, public computers, and an outdoor fitness park. The community center and women's club are also provide affordable rental space to meet the needs of the community. This would include for receptions, graduations, and memorial services, to name a few. In addition, over 30 nonprofit organizations utilize the center for monthly meetings or planned events. This has opened the door for partnerships within the city to provide events to the residents. This can be seen most recently in a partnership that was done with the Relief Squad and ASME to provide or to host the Day of Giving, an event in which over 250 families and 700 children received gifts, food boxes, and clothes for the holidays. So we have a very strong partnership, and we only hope to expand on that. And the Day of Giving has already got a date set for 2019, and we hope to grow on that. A total of over 1,014 rentals occurred at the community center and women's club alone in fiscal year 18. So there is a need for us. Our Crash program is our kids' recreation after-school hangout. Youth are now major users of the community center, especially during the after-school and summer and school breaks. Ongoing activities are now scheduled, as well as special events and trips. Most are free or minimal in cost to promote participation, lessen the amount of time spent at home alone, and reduce the amount of screen time, which we all hope to do, so on. Some of the more notable events include our backpack bingo, which we provide free backpacks full of school supplies while paying bingo to get to win them, our Harvest Social, our Off the Couch Fitness Challenge, and of course our Nerf Wars. In addition, several grants have been received by our National Recreation and Parks Association that funded the outdoor fitness equipment, our nutrition classes, and our fitness classes. It was also identified that while we welcome the youth to a safe place to play, they were not eating. After identifying some of the contributing factors to that, we stepped up to partner with St. Mary's Food Bank, Kids Cafe, and the Summer Food Program to provide evening dinners. We are now serving over 5,000 meals a year to the youth, and those are 18 and under. So you know we are the place to be when 6,847 youth participated in activities in fiscal year 18. And in fiscal year 19, the attendance has already passed 7,790 by the end of March. So that's an increase of 14% already, and we haven't even seen the last 3 months of the fiscal year. So the need is there. Our active adult program is one where we always want to make sure that we're taking care of every family member, even the grandmas and the grandpas and greats and so on. The community center is then a place for all ages and can find activities taking place. Right. The active adult program strives to keep seniors active and out in the community. Health and fitness classes offered throughout the week accommodate all fitness levels, from those in the sit and fit to the Zumba to the yoga. Over 6,500 seniors got moving in fiscal year 18 alone. Classes are low cost and free to those who have a Medicare subsidized fitness program plan, such as the Silver Sneakers or Silver and Fit or Renew. So they don't pay anything for the classes. Otherwise, they are very nominal cost of $1.50. It's our goal is to keep them moving and active and not at home. And we know that many seniors are not comfortable driving long distances, so day trips offered are by far the best way to see the valley and beyond. Over 100 trips are offered a year, giving over 2,400 seniors an opportunity to attend festivals, plays, culinary cuisines, and much more. Isolation and loneliness have proven to reduce the quality of life, so it's important that we help maintain social interaction. This can be seen there. This has been successful in offering over 20 various social groups and civic organizations that meet at the center. So there's always something to participate in, including card groups, bingo, dominoes. We have the Korean War veterans, we've got the VFW, we've got the quilters, just to name a few. Monthly special events are also offered to celebrate not only the cultural and seasonal holidays, but gives the opportunity for multi-generational participation, as you can see by our Grandparents' Day, which turned into our Great-Grandparents' Day, and in some cases, our Great-Great-Grandparents' Day. But it was a wonderful event. And we always encourage seniors to bring family members to enjoy when visiting or whenever they're available. So we always welcome our family members. We do have a variety of classes that are offered in a variety of interest and focus on enhancing the quality of life. This includes diabetes education, arts and hobbies, and outdoor education. This area has seen the largest increase over the past year, serving 4,750 participants, an increase of 22%. Our meal program. In many circumstances, if the community center did not offer the various meal programs, seniors would not have a balanced or nutritional meal at any point in time, a day. Through the partnership with FISAL, the nutrition program offers the following opportunities. We serve congregate meals daily, Monday through Friday, serving 9,392 annually. If they are unable to attend the center, if they're homebound, have a medical condition, we do have the home delivered meals program, in which case over 20,000 769 were served. And finally, 6,250 families and individuals participated in the Thursday Brown Bag program. This is where non-perishable food is provided by St. Mary's Food Bank and sorted and distributed by volunteers. This is a volunteer-driven program. It's collected by volunteers, distributed by volunteers, and even they go above and beyond. In addition, we do get government-subsidized commodities twice a month, which include the milks, the cheeses, and other non-perishable items for our families. The city knows and recognizes the importance of this meal program and does support it through funding annually, $45,000 to offset some of the food cost for these programs. And the adaptive program, my near and dear, my heart program. On a personal note, I've had the opportunity to work for other Valley cities, and I've never seen a city value all the residents like I have seen in Peoria. And that's just something to be very, very proud of. We are seen as a leader in the community and a role model, and continuously get called upon to get our recommendations, our reference, and to get guidance for new programs starting up. I just got a call today, an email today. The city of Buckeye is looking to start some programs. So they immediately called us. So that's very, very something very to be proud of. The Friday night dances. This has been a staple in the community for 32 years. The secret to success is consistency. For 41 Friday nights out of the year, you can find a Friday night dance happening. The dancers offer a safe social gathering place where new friends are made weekly. The dances also provide theme nights and special performances. And most recently, one of our favorite nights that has been added in is karaoke night. So we average over 230 individuals with a disability each night. This is a slide that celebrating our 30th anniversary where we invited back all of our staff who have worked with us over the past 30 years. And those are the handful of them who made it back. So we're very proud because that's a very large commitment as well to our staff. Peoria is home to one of the largest Special Olympics teams in Arizona, having just over 250 athletes participating in 8 different sports. The athletes have an opportunity to participate in not only area and local competitions, but have the opportunity to compete on the national and world games stage as well, as you have in the past been given that information and the joy of that. Peoria has embraced the unified movement. Special Olympics Unified Sports is a fast-growing initiative that brings people with and without intellectual disabilities together on the same team to compete. This allows friends, neighbors, and family members to play on the same team. And this has been one of the most successful growth that we have seen within our Special Olympic programs. We now have our volleyball, we've got our football that are exclusively now unified, which we are engaging with the local high schools and other community members to actively participate in those programs. And then you can also see we've had some close relationships with like the Michael Phelps Foundation as well. The Adaptive Recreation Program has contracted with the Department of Economic Security of the Division of Developmental Disabilities for 32 years. This provides funding for summer, after-school, and adult day programs and our group-supported employment program. Some highlights include our summer Oakwood Recreation Program. And that's one of the first programs that we started when we started our contracted programs. This allows children with or without disabilities to play and interact together. This is a site that has seen a 32% increase since we were able to increase our limit of students that we could serve. It's an integrated site, and the best way to learn is by playing with your peers. And so parents strive to be part of this program, and it is a staple, and people travel from all over the Peoria to be participating in this program. And then our Adult Day program is a year-round program for adults We are now serving in 2 locations, and, in the near future, we may expand. Our group-supported employment. This is a service in which members of our day program are hired as city employees. The city, again, values all employees and would not even consider paying a sub-minimum wage. So all of our employees are making minimum wage. That goes up, their wages go up as well, which is not the norm in the community. And it'll probably even decrease more as the wages go up. But we are very steadfast in the fact that they will make those minimum wages. Currently, they are responsible for some custodial services, some maintenance outside the City Hall facility, and in the downtown, especially events when called upon. The most exciting thing that we're looking forward to is is the pop-up cafe, which is going to be coming in spring of 2019. We just received the cart, which you can see is pictured right there. And this project is in partnership with the main library, and it really is here to enhance our workforce development, to give them new skills, to make them more marketable in the community, and to give back to the community and make a service available in our library that is not yet available. They will be serving finger foods, coffee, and other seasonal items prepared by the employees. The employees who work there will have all their food handlers cards. It's a completely licensed, completely respectable cart. And even though it will be open at the main library, it has wheels and will travel. So, keep it on your forefront there. And then some of our other major events and programs that we offer that we wanted to highlight was our Time to Shine theater troupe, which began almost 10 years ago and has since become a home to many talented performers. 2 productions are put on annually and performed at the PCPA. Coming May 28th is the performance of The Jungle Book, so we'll mark your calendars now. And not only do we provide activities for the individuals, but the family members as well. We want to take a holistic approach to serving our families and our residents. Parents Corner offers workshops and seminars that impact the lives of their family members, such as guardianship, estate planning, things that you don't think of normally, but that, at some point in time that will impact their lives and their livelihoods, So we want to make sure that parents are well aware and informed. Special events and activities are changing based on the feedback we receive from the community. The focus has turned to indoor and outdoor adventures. This includes a recent trip to Snowball for ski lessons. They go hiking, they're kayaking, just to mention a few. And we now have also expanded on our arts and cultural classes to include cooking, music, and our art explosion class. It should be mentioned that we recently had an art showing at Driftwood. We had a nice event there where the parents came in, they had their artwork on display, and our ukulele ensemble performed, and it was just a well-rounded event. And we hope to continue those kinds of events in the future. And with that being said.
Wow, I just got to say wow. That's a lot. Again, I want to thank Councilmember Patena for bringing us back to be able to highlight these many attributes that are happening right here. And I want to thank Paula and her team. They're back here, raise your hand. Community Center team that, I think we're a little remiss. You see we have a little Healthy Neighborhoods icon up there, and I think we miss an opportunity to put a couple more livability goals up there. Superior Public Service, which I think they're displaying at the center each and every day, as well as it's only a block away from the 83rd fixed route. We could have put transportation up there. And one of the Healthy Neighborhoods initiatives is about providing access to quality and needed resources. Here the community center is serving the surrounding community and is right off the transportation route, so it's accessible to the broader base Peoria. So I just gotta thank you again. Wow. But we're not done. There's much more going on there, and Debbie Pearson's gonna highlight some of the things we have going on with the expansion. You dedicated some funds recently in order to expand this and provide even more needed resources there at the community center through this construction expansion. We're very eager to find out how we can better serve those in need in the area. So Debbie, take it away.
All righty. Thank you, Mr. Hallett. Good evening, council, mayor, and city management. It's a pleasure to be here tonight, and I'm very excited. If you thought what Paula had to say was pretty terrific, then I'm going to add on to that story and tell you about the upcoming Community Assistance Resource Center that is going to be a center within the community center. As you recall, you earmarked the funds for this project about a year or so ago, and it was for your desire to continue with quality services and enhance services to our citizens. In the end, that is who matters the most in the situation. So we began the work. There was a few sites in mind, but clearly all arrows were pointing to the community center because there's already wonderful services being offered there, and this project is going to just add on to that. All right, I'm going to talk about construction a little more. Here's some pictures of when we started out. It does not look like that anymore, and you'll be glad to know that every PPE, personal protective equipment, has been, used the whole time, and it's been in a wonderful fashion. Now, I wanted to stop on this slide. I'll go over the two bottom pictures. Again, it's the construction on the left, and then the right side is an enhanced version of what the center is going to look like when it's done. The top picture, I really wanted to, I know some of you are aware of this, but the construction company that we have contracted with, Core, has been absolutely amazing, way above and beyond construction. They have taken an approach of being all-inclusive, and they became very aware that some of the adult day participants had some upsets with changing to their scheduling. So with that in mind, what's up on that top picture is actually one of the steel beams that is at this point probably installed in the building and will remain, where city members, council, and the participants in the program signed words of good cheer on the beam itself that will be a permanent fixture in the center. So that kind of brought us all together. And a few more pictures that I want to highlight because it was reciprocal. The participants of the day program were so excited about the project that they made special hard hats for the engineering team. And in doing so, Chris Carbone, the one on the right, is the superintendent with Core. If you ever get a chance, there's a video, just because of how our security there that's taped, where Anthony in the middle was having a very hard time with not being able to be in the room that he's normally in for lunch, and he was crying. That young man, Mr. Carbone, sat with him separately for his lunch and talked to him. I mean, it's just way above and beyond what a construction company would do. And so they realize the dynamic here is sensitive and they're very caring. So I think even the engineering staff, Ed Striffler and Lisa Rodriguez, picked this company. It just was a really good choice for this particular project. All right, so the good news is because of Ed and Lisa staying on top of everything, we started on time and we're gonna finish on time with the grand opening to be June 27th. Hopefully by now it's all on your calendars or will be shortly because we would be honored if you would be joining us for that opening. Now, this slide and the next slide are my favorites, of course. These three organizations are already in the community center and will be staying on with us for their one-year contract. The contracts will be for a year, and we did this to make the flexibility available for every 3 years when we do our work plan to make sure the needs of Peoria are being met and that we have the right services in the assistance center for that. These three are in there and are staying. And this slide is everybody who has already jumped on board and filled out their contracts to become part of our team. Again, we based who we're choosing on our 3-year needs and assets assessment report that we did and our 3-year work plan. So every 3 years we will be reviewing all of this to make sure that we have the right fit for the services that the people need in our sweet Peoria. The center will be open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and then Saturdays by appointment, which I think is above and beyond the Saturday by appointment only, probably is an extra enhancement for the city of Peoria. My dream is to have our center be very coordinated with Surprise and Avondale with their two centers. So the west side is offering the right kind and the right amount of services, and if we don't have ours one day, we would know the other schedules and be able to cross-refer and with each other and with the organizations. I want to also add, we threw the Peoria Support logo in, and you know that the tagline for support is the longest tagline you could ever have, but it really, my manager Karen Eibing and I thought of that, and we thought it's too long, but now that we've come this far, I've been here almost 6 years in this role, it fits everything that we're doing. I mean, we are uniting the services to provide our people with opportunities, resources, and training. And for that, I am so proud to be part of this project, and I thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'll take any questions you might have.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you all three. What incredible, amazing work that you are doing within what other people might consider constraints. You certainly don't have any constraints. It is so impressive. Council, are there any questions? Mr. Patena.
Yes, Mayor, I have some comments. Paula, I don't know how you do it every day.
I know.
This study session came together when we had the beam signing. John Edwards and I got to the community center early. And you had a diabetes class going on, you had an art class going on, you had people waiting to get their taxes done, you had a Valentine's program scheduled, a Zumba class going on, your adaptive programs, and your lunch program all before 8 o'clock. Now you have the crash program, evening dinners, and serving 5,000 meals to kids who would otherwise go hungry. Your adaptive programs lead the way in the West Valley, if not the entire valley. I've been to a number of your Friday night dances, and the kids who participate in your adaptive program, all they want to be is treated like other people. And the programs that you provide and allow them to do, including the dance, allows them to be treated like their peers. The other thing is, you serve the very young to the very old. And when I was in there, they all seemed really happy. And that's kind of a really cool thing. Another more important thing is that your programs are either free or really very affordable. So many people can participate. I really wanted the people who are maybe watching on television or who even are attending tonight to know everything that went on in the community center programming. It really is quite extraordinary, everything that you do and accomplish. So thank you for that. So I want to talk a little bit about the Resource Center. I too am very excited about June 27th coming. And the fact that you already have people that are eager to participate. I know that when we had our not-for-profit hearings, we had several people say to us during those hearings, we're happy to become part of the Resource Center. And I think it's going to be such an amazing thing for Peoria. The fact that you're teamed up with Surprise and Avondale and you can switch and serve so many more people that way, I think is just incredible. So I should have signed the beam. I signed my name and the date, and what I should have signed was 15 years in the making has finally arrived. It's been a long time, and it's certainly a dream come true for me and for Karen and her entire staff. We called it a one-stop shop program many, many years ago. It's become so much more than that with everything you're doing. I'm really very excited to see this thing finally hit the ground running, so thank you for that, and thank you, Chris, for everything you do. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Hunt.
I had a quick question, and then I want to ditto some of his comments. The Benavia, will it move out of the library then?
Thank you. Yes. What's going to happen, actually, they will hold their library location. As you've noticed, there's been a higher need for services in general, so Benavia is also expanding their programs.
Okay.
So there's going to be one program at the library, and then there'll be another program out of the center.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I ditto everything Bill said, And probably because I live so close here, I'm in there fairly frequently saying hi to staff. I don't know, it's just one of the happiest, Disneyland says they're the happiest place on earth, but I really think our community center rivals them. We even have the stuff, the jungle gyms outside to get to do exercises on. Everything from Dusty the dancing horse. I was so surprised the first time I mean, it's been many times since, but the first time I was in there to see a horse trotting around the big room. That was Dusty. To line dancers who are so good. They're just people like us, only in a little better shape than me, but just having a great time. I don't think there's anything anybody could want in the city that they can't find in the city of Peoria, and most of it right there. I don't think there's a person that should be able to go hungry in our city because of the food services we supply, old and young. And when you add Heart Pantry to that, serving through the schools and all, we've got it covered. The only thing that would stop anybody from doing it is not knowing about it or not taking that first step. I agree, for the Friday night dances are so much fun. You get so many hugs there. You just feel like $1 million when you go out. And they're all such good friends, and they're just so happy. I could just go on because your programs there are amazing, and I don't know why you don't appear tireder than you do, but, and you have the friendliest staff out there. Katie and the others are they're just wonderful greeters. So anyway, yeah, I'm just so proud of the city of Peoria because I jotted down here, we enrich the whole person. We don't just do, I don't know, mental illness. We don't just do the aging. We don't just do hungry. We really do it all. And in addition to our paid staff, we have so many volunteers, and that our city runs on volunteers. It's just, I'm just so proud to work here. I'm so proud of you guys, and I know that Bill and Karen and Debbie have been at this for many, many years. And I don't even know whether to say we have a long way. We don't have a long way to go. We just need to keep doing what we're doing because we're doing it right. So thank you a million times. And Chris, you must be so happy to have landed here with this group. And we're so happy to have you as a leader.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. Ditto, definitely. But I first of all, what a wonderful presentation. Thank you for just pouring your hearts out and sharing that with us. What a gift it really is. So I agree with what the council members are saying and feeling about everything that you presented. You said something about not ever seeing another city that gives as much as this city does to serve. And I feel that way and believe that we're just the best city, in the world. But the fact that you feel that way and you feel that way shows in what you're doing, and that's what makes it so effective. I'm so sorry. That's what makes it so effective. And it's incredible what you're doing, and you all are the difference. So what you're giving and what people are receiving and feeling as a result of that, that's the difference. But that is because of you and the sincerity behind what you're doing, and all of you out here today and your team, you're the difference, and we are so proud. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more comments? I think everybody completely agrees with all that. Thanks for everything that you guys are doing.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. And we want to acknowledge as well our engineering department for helping to kind of lead through this project. Lisa Ramirez, Ed Striffler doing a wonderful job as this gets to fruition as well. So thank you. Any other comments, Chris, regarding this?
No, I just want to say, I'm sure the mayor, you contribute, the Superior Public Services program we do, why we are #1 in the state, amongst the many other things Peoria does very well. But I do want to thank Mayor and Council for the vision and the leadership and the support to get this done. It has been a long time in the making, and to your support and the many staff support, it's going to be here before we know it.
Yay. Right. Congratulations. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Mayor. We're going to move to our
Yes.
next study session item, which, as you may recall, in our March 2018 workshop, we had a lot of discussion about property appearance, neighborhood aesthetics. With that, there was direction to create an ad hoc subcommittee on code review, which was established in September to address the aesthetics of neighborhoods, and that was led by two of us here. It's Councilmember Finn and Councilmember Patena. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Councilmember Finn to discuss the process.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tyne. Just a few comments before we get started. So we ventured into this to be looking at some of the code issues that we had discussed here as a council, looking at things that we wanted to talk about, whether or not it was something that we wanted to continue to enforce. If we didn't want to enforce it, let's get it off the books. If it was not on the books and we want to talk about enforcing it, let's start talking about enforcing it. And I want to, before they go into their presentation, I want to compliment the amazing work that the staff did, because they came with facts, they came with figures. We can tell you percentage of complaints and what categories they fit in, how many we've had. It was really a lot of work, and even probably more demanding was putting up with me sharpshooting the language on a consistent basis as we go in to discuss it exactly. It had to be painful. But we had many meetings. They were absolutely fantastic. They worked very hard at this, and it really came down to clarifying a lot of the things, so it was easier for the city to enforce. It was easier for the citizens to kind of understand what it meant, and some teeth into enforcing some things that might be repetitive. So I just want to kind of set that stage before they took over and did a typical amazing presentation. But Mr. Patena, did you have any comments that you wanted to add?
Like you, I want to thank the committee and the staff for doing amazing work. I know that Councilmember Finn and myself, we asked some very easy questions and we asked some very difficult questions, and a lot of it was for clarification purposes so that code could deal with these issues, but more importantly, so that some of our citizens could really understand what these codes meant. And so we feel we got through that. Eric, you kept those meetings right on target, and I appreciated that. You know, sometimes we can tend to drift off a little bit, but you wouldn't allow us to do that, and we made the best use of our time, so thank you for that. And again, thanks to the committee. That's it.
Great. Well, I do want to thank the co-chairs and their leadership. It was a great experience. I think we knew going into it, it was going to be highly educational for all parties involved. And I know there was a public component part, which we're still going to do, but I think we had some really robust, deep-seated discussions. I think great questions were asked. Last September, as a result of the March inquiry, you appointed this ad hoc committee and these two co-chairs to lead us through that. They had very insightful knowledge and questions that as we met them together with our key staff, we couldn't do it. You know, Jack Stroud, our code compliance manager. We also, Eric and Jay from the city manager's office. We had our city attorney, Vanessa Hickman, there. We had Chris Hawkes, our city planner, there, because the code is a very lengthy thing, and I think we got into the details. And when you look at just the one section of the code by itself, it begs a lot of questions, and our partners were able to really bring it all together, how well our code is already written. I think we found out we may even have some best practices on our code, because as you start connecting the dots through the questions and the inquiries that we were getting, it became evident to us that we had a good code, and in fact, we didn't need too many tweaks, it was felt. The focus was primarily on property maintenance standards of residential property in particular. And a curious fact for me is what came out of some of the questions is probably what you all hear a lot from your constituents. And these must be our problem. I get these calls, and I think to Councilmember Finn's point, when we produce, well, actually that happens about less than 2% of the time. I think Peoria should be very proud of, again, Superior Public Service in that over 97% voluntary compliance. So most everything we do falls in place naturally just because of the way the code is already written and the way Jack and his staff are able to enforce it. And the emphasis is on code compliance. It's not even on enforcement. And we go out and they do a great job of doing education first, leading up to, enforcement's the last resort. And a lot of things we found out is, those are the 1 to 2 percenters that just don't want to follow it or for some reason can't. As a new department for the Neighborhood and Human Services Department, again, if we have I'm very proud of the code we have because I've been in other places. The code's not nearly as good. There's a low tolerance for, new blight and everything in the neighborhood here, and I'm glad to see we have that, and it's up to our department as we move forward, and we'll be back here next month to highlight some of our mission, vision, and strategic plan, and for our efforts to help bring those people to that standard instead of lowering the standard to what some of the neighboring cities might have. So again, great code to begin with, a lot of it over the 6-month period when we focused on these residential. We found it was just mostly administrative and housekeeping, things that will help staff better enforce it. Key provisions, Jack will talk about as a repeat offender recommendation. We've been highly successful without it, but when that challenge comes up, we're gonna have a better definition in there that will help provide that. And as we continue, there will be, it's imperative and that we do continuous education. We found out how educational the process is internally. We're now going to take it out to the community. I'll highlight that a little bit later. And then it's just ongoing monitoring, assessing how well our code is working, looking at our metrics, and modifying if necessary and amending in the future. So with that, Jack's going to go a high level over kind of summary synopsis of what recommendations we'll be bringing back to you after we go to the public.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm just going to go over some of the bullet points of some of the stuff that we looked at, the categories up there. During our review, we looked at the following: best practices, what other cities were doing, and how other codes were being used. We mainly focused on Chapter 14 and Chapter 17 of the city codes. These areas were the main topics discussed at our last study session. The first part was the enforcement authority, which kind of brought us into repeat offenders. This concern was brought up to us at our last council meeting on repeat offenders. We are recommending adding a statement in the Chapter 1 on a habitual offender. This will give us the support to address repeat offenders. This will give us the ability to support documentation, to issue final notices, and to go right to a citation if needed for repeat offenders. The other sections were to commercial vehicles and RVs. After a lot of review and discussion, these sections just needed some minor cleanup. At this time, we felt that these codes are already meeting the needs of the city. Then it brings us to the public nuisance. Public nuisance, this is in Chapter 17. We are recommending some minor changes and adjustments to this section. We cleaned up the wording for property owners. It shows what they're responsible to maintain, and we are recommending to align the city code to reflect the same as the zoning ordinance for holiday decorations. In addition, we cleaned up the requirements for garage sales and yard sales, the wording in it. And from there, we're gonna be bringing it back to you, the corrections and the formal recommendation for the changes to the code.
Can you, Jack, before you move on, can you define a public nuisance?
Can I define it?
Yeah.
Anything that's a nuisance to the public.
So someone parking their car in front of your house?
Parking, weeds, debris, litter, material, anything that there's standards. There's about 35 city codes that we actually look at, and it's parking requirements, maintaining your appearance, fencing.
Okay, thanks.
So up next, what we'd like to be able to do is take this out to the public to educate them and get some of their input. We want to use all the means at our disposal, traditional and social media. We want to be able to post it on our website for public comment for the next, say, 30 to 45 days, during which time we want to be able to hold an open house and a public hearing and get their input. And really, it's going to be a huge educational aspect. Once you start seeing this stuff in writing, you've all seen the attached report. It's very specific, but it's, again, I said before, it's just in one little context. We're going to need to bring further resources to make connectivity when they say, what does this mean? What does this mean? But again, I go back to, and we'll be able to have information armed with us while we're out there, is really connecting to how often these things do or don't happen, and certainly take their input as to what is going on in their neighborhood. I mean, that's going to be very valuable to us as a new department, as we talk about their healthy neighborhood and livability of their neighborhood. And this is perfect on the heels of that discussion again at the last meeting, that we're continuing these talks out in the neighborhood. So we're very eager to see what we hear from the community. And then we'll take that and we'll bring it back here for council action in May, June timeframe, and we'll be able to share the comments we had and you'll formally be able to adopt these recommended changes. Anything else that the co-chairs like to add that we didn't cover, or any questions we can answer from the council?
Yeah, I just want to make one other comment. One of the things that came up in here that I want you to kind of be thinking a little bit about too is, well, two things. I want to also compliment the staff on your ability to help kind of walk through some of these decisions and what our thought processes were too. Because when you look at some of these things and you say, I want to fix this, and we've got 6 calls on it in the year, and it represents less than 1% of our total calls, it's difficult to put something in place that affects every citizen in the city. So part of that was coming to grips with, be careful what you try to fix, because you might create a bigger problem for everyone else in the city. So as we kind of go through this process, keep that in mind. Why aren't we fixing this? Why aren't we doing this specifically? Because part of what we wanted to do was say, look, if we're going to have this, we're going to enforce it. And you got to be careful on how you're going to enforce that for the entire city when it's fixing one problem at 1 or 2 houses. So I think that was kind of a interesting thing for us to kind of work our way through when we went through this policy. So
It's a lesson for our state legislature.
I'm pretty sure they're all tuned in right now listening
Yeah,
to me, so yes.
I'm sure they are. Well, I want to thank you guys, first of all, for working with these two. But also, I mean, really, for taking this on and making sure that we understand and that our public understands how our city codes work and why our city codes work. These are really for the benefit of our quality of life here in the city. And so it's the greater good. Sometimes it seems like it's a negative, but in reality, it is quite the opposite. It is really a positive, and it's how we stay above the fray. So thanks for all that you guys do on a daily basis. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you. That is all we have for our presentations. Thank you for the feedback, and I appreciate that.
All right, then we are adjourned until our 7 p.m. meeting.
Leave no trace, so that we preserve the pristine quality of this area. Our descendants for generations to come will benefit from the care we show this region. This will become our lasting legacy.
With a look inside Maricopa Community Colleges, this is Maricopa Now. Here are some of the stories. One Maricopa graduate is in the driver's seat with the latest technology. Mesa Community College takes landscape design to the next level. Plus, students and faculty at Phoenix College are tackling food insecurity on campus. And there's so much more on this edition of Maricopa Now. Welcome to our show. Thanks for joining us at Gateway Community College, where the Geckos are celebrating 50 years of educating and engaging students and connecting with the community. I'm your host, Kim Getz. Imagine living in a world where you no longer have to drive to work, drive to school, or run errands. It is now becoming a reality. As Lisa Aquafreda shows us, Chandler Gilbert Community College is at the forefront of preparing students for advancements in technology.
How we get to and from school and work is changing. The City of Chandler is trial grounds for driverless automobile transportation. And it's providing a high-tech career for Kelly Turpin, a psychology graduate of Chandler Gilbert Community College.
I am obviously incredibly passionate about the idea of a driverless world and making that a safe road for us, our family, future children to travel on.
Kelly took her love for psychology and advanced technology and is now behind the wheel working for Waymo, a self-driving technology development company with a mission to make it safe and easy for people and things to move around.
But you won't find Kelly here in the driver's seat. Her job is rider support, and that means with the click of a button, the rider inside can ask any question about the vehicle, from how it operates to even about their ride.
Kelly says CGCC gave her valuable skills for her job.
At Chandler Gilbert Community College, I took a lot of really great classes. My favorite was organizational psychology. I'm able to focus on managerial styles for my team, how to motivate them to provide the best kind of service.
We see students come from all over the valley because of the service we're providing them. We have amazing internship programs where we connect the student in a class with what they want to do to that industry.
With the variety of courses offered at CGCC, you can pursue a career in a high-tech field without following a direct science path, similar to Kelly's track. There's lots of options.
Marketing, sales, there's so many other facets of technology, and they're only as successful as their support teams and their support operations. You can build this great car, but it's just going to sit in the building. No business is a business without operations, right?
Kelly believes, regardless of what avenue you pursue, a career in technology is the wave of the future, and she says CGCC gives you the green light to drive the dream. From Maricopa Now, I'm Lisa Aquafreda.
Urban planning, public parks, and residential spaces are just a few of the areas that utilize skilled landscape designers. For students interested in this career, Mesa Community College now offers a class in computer-aided design. Deanne Kincaid has the story.
A walk in the park can be a breath of fresh air or simply a way to reconnect with nature. Landscape features enhance this experience and contribute to our quality of life. If you plan a career in landscaping, Mesa Community College is a place to go. Karen Logan Heaps teaches Introduction to Landscape Design, where students learn to create freehand designs and drafting techniques.
You don't have to have any drawing experience to come into my class. We'll start from the very basics, and we end with you feeling confident that you can communicate through graphics.
This is the prerequisite class for Computer-Aided Design, or CAD class.
Because they need to master the design process and the design creative thinking before they get to the mechanics of the CAD class.
In the CAD class, all designs are done on the computer.
The benefits of this are students can learn to work more efficiently, more quickly. They will have a computer backup of all their work.
Condon said that students also learn presentation tools such as SketchUp, which is used to show customers a finished product of their landscape design. The Sonoran Desert provides a rich variety of trees and plants to create a sustainable landscape design.
And there's also edible landscaping, where you can have the beauty of the flowers, then pick the petals and decorate your salad greens.
Once students finish their degree at MCC, they should be able to find employment with established firms, government firms, or become entrepreneurs and start their own firm and build it up from there.
The U.S. Bureau of Labor says the job outlook for landscape architects will grow 6% over the next 5 years. Salaries range from $25,000 to $65,000 per year, depending on education and experience.
If students want to do any work with the government, all government work must be submitted on computer-aided design.
Betsy Dowling completed the manual drafting class and says that taking the landscape AutoCAD class helps her acquire the dual skills necessary to compete in this industry.
This course is going to really elevate my skills so that I can articulate my designs not just to the client, but to every person who's involved in the installation, from the irrigation people to the lighting people, and of course to the people who deal with the plants and the hardscape.
Mesa Community College offers the only landscape horticulture program in the district. For more information, go to mesacc.edu. I'm Deanne Kincaid for Maricopa Now.
Coming up on Maricopa Now, see how students are lending a helping hand to Mother Nature.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Fighting hunger is a common problem on college campuses across the country, but at Phoenix College, students, faculty, and staff are working hard to make sure none of their students go to class hungry. Brandon Newman brings us the story.
64% of our students have reported not having enough money for all 3 meals a day.
Recognizing the problem, the students, faculty, and staff at Phoenix College stepped up to help distribute food to those in need. What began 3 years ago as a small student club has now grown into a full-service food pantry.
We kind of organize more now as like an academic/service committee.
We really care about our students, and this has really been a grassroots effort to show that we hear and see our students' needs, and we want to do something about it.
For students like Shantasia and Leonidas, the food pantry is a key part of their academic success.
Or you can't focus, your grades start going down, declining. That will happen to me in my first few semesters.
Coming up here just to get some food in order to get to my classes, it really does help me a lot because I sometimes can't even focus when I'm hungry.
I could be the best teacher in the world. If you're hungry, you're not going to be learning.
Partnering with the St. Mary's Food Bank, the food pantry's success brings more nutritious types of food onto campus.
The majority of the food comes from St. Mary's. Every other week we go and shop. We can shop for an hour and we get to load up 2 flatbeds full of stuff. So that also supplements our pantry.
As the pantry continues to grow and serve more students, they look to the community for help.
If anyone can donate toiletry items, food items, non-perishables, if they'd like to donate a little bit of money, they can do it at phoenixcollege.edu/PCGives, and that will be under the PC Pantry designation.
The volunteers and staff at Phoenix College take great pride in serving the needs of their students and working together to solve the problem of hunger on campus.
The PC Pantry really came out of the heart of the Bear and the heart of the faculty and staff here.
I hope we no longer have a food pantry in the near future because that would mean that hardly anybody is experiencing food insecurity.
Brandon Newman reporting from Phoenix College for Maricopa Now.
My name is Jim Hyder. I'm an adjunct instructor at Rio Salado College in the STEM department, teaching nanotechnology. Nanotechnology covers the full gambit of STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are all disciplines that you'll find within the world of nanotechnology. Students at Rio Salado have an opportunity to see some of the most cutting-edge science that's even available. We offer an introduction to nanotechnology class. Within the 12 weeks that you would be in that class, you will have a broad overview of the entire nanotechnology industry. When you see a student that's learning or seeing this stuff for the first time, to see them move from, this is all new and exciting, to, wow, I actually see myself working in this field, that's extremely rewarding. At Rio Salado, nanotechnology knows no limits.
Scottsdale Community College celebrated the grand opening of its Indigenous Cultural Center and Business School.
We have the only dedicated learning center for accounting and statistics in the entire Maricopa district.
The new building includes state-of-the-art technology, collaborative study space, and a storytelling circle. Scottsdale Community College is located on Native American land and has a partnership with the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. The governing board approved Estrella Mountain Community College $31 million to expand the campus. During the past decade, enrollment growth has increased by 38%, and with more than 15,000 students, space is limited. The campus expansion includes a new classroom office building, biology lab, parking lot, and renovation of enrollment services, and Gateway Community College's Southwest Skills Center, which is located on campus. A new self-service kiosk at Glendale Community College helps students find the information they need to succeed. The kiosk highlights 3 important services: Gaucho 101 Student Success, Disability Resources, and Veteran Services. Users can also enter their email address to request more information. The kiosk is located in the Enrollment Center, but can be moved during events to high-traffic areas. Glendale Community College's law enforcement, fire science, paramedic, and EMT students participated in an active shooter mass casualty drill. Each semester, this training exercise, held at the Glendale Regional Public Safety Training Center, prepares students for their roles as first responders. Paradise Valley Community College offers a free ceramics program for veterans and their families. The program is sponsored by the Maricopa Community Colleges, Arizona Artists Guild, Marjan Ceramics, and a grant from the City of Phoenix Department of Arts and Culture. Classes are held the first and third Saturday of each month from 1 to 4 p.m. at the D Building Ceramics Studio. To register, contact ceramics instructor David Bradley.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Hey guys, how are you today? Good. I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life. Is that you? That is me. I wasn't a math genius, and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things. I want your job. I want you to have my job. Hey foodies, Lisa here in the East Valley at Grace Farms. This place is truly a hidden gem that's beautiful. From the ambiance by La Quay Event Design to the cuisine from the Hidden Kitchen, this place is one that you'll truly remember. everyone. I'm here with Ivan Hakoba, former Strayer Mountain Community College graduate, who now has started the Hidden Kitchen. What's that all about?
So Hidden Kitchen is basically a restaurant concept with no address. Our location changes every time we do dinners. The way I like to explain it, we don't sell food, we sell an experience of bringing people together.
We've already exchanged phone numbers and emails of the people that we just met tonight. So it was once in a lifetime, really.
Everybody's pretty interesting, you know, everybody's unique in their own way. I met my girlfriend at one of these dinners that I'm currently dating right now.
You're kind of like ramping up business a little bit here.
Business has been booming, no complaints there. So we're super excited to announce we're actually opening our first brick and mortar restaurant at Heritage Square in downtown Phoenix.
Now, I'm sure when people hear this, they're like, wow, you went from the pop-up kitchen, then you went to a restaurant right out of college. Like, talk about success. Was it always this easy?
Not at all. I remember it almost blew up a microwave at EMCC.
Oh, no.
So, you know, we've came a long ways.
He's become a leader. He's not only an excellent chef, but he's also an excellent business owner.
You also want to give back and inspire future students who want to walk in your same footsteps. What do you plan to do?
We're going to offer a 6-month paid internship at the restaurant to any of the students who graduate from EMCC and fit the right criteria.
Listen up, you're a student out there,
Get
right?
good grades.
Get good grades, you want to work with him.
So today we have ricotta-filled tortellinis with roasted corn and a couple of different garnishes.
So let's talk about the ingredients.
Roasted corn is a corn puree. These are tortellinis filled with ricotta cheese and a little bit of mayo. And then this little microgreen is called Fire Heart. There's also some jalapenos and radishes in there.
Oh, so it's got a little kick to it, right?
Yeah. At the beginning, we're gonna get some of this corn puree, and then we're just gonna drag it around the plate and make it kind of artistic.
You guys always make that look so easy. It's just like a swoosh. Never happens that way, though.
If you want to get one of these tortellinis.
And where do I need to put it?
Anywhere, wherever your little heart desires.
My heart desires right there. Uno, dos, and tres.
And then we're gonna garnish it with a little bit of the fire roasted corn. Don't be afraid, come on.
Okay.
I'll place a little jalapeno here.
It's got a little kick.
Yeah.
Wake up, everybody,
spice
right?
in your life.
Ooh, that looks so nice.
You eat with your eyes first, right?
Yes, you do.
And then just sprinkle some of this heart on fire. Add another different element of spiciness.
I don't know why we're not calling this Heart on Fire. Especially because it goes with February,
right?
The romantic scene.
Valentine's. And then this is the final dish.
With great food and good company, that makes for an unforgettable experience. I'm Lisa, and see you next time on Chef's Menu. Cheers!
Cheers!
Jewelry can be traced back to the Neanderthals of Europe more than 100,000 years ago. Jewelry was used to showcase wealth, rank, religion, and affection to others. Artist John Zalepis continues this tradition of making jewelry. He has over 20 years' experience in the art of jewelry and metalwork. He received his Master of Fine Arts in Metals from Arizona State University. He's an award-winning artist who's exhibited nationally.
I'm very much inspired and have been by architecture and other art. But yeah, there's definitely a contemporary style to the work. I just like clean lines, you know, simplicity and elegance. You know, growing up, I was very fortunate to grow up overseas, and I was raised around a lot of historical temples and museums in Athens, Greece. So I was always around art.
John takes his love of art to his students in the classroom. They learn how to make metal jewelry. Everyone starts out with a flat piece of copper and a flat piece of sterling silver. They learn how to saw metal, how to cut it, drill through it, file it, and sand it. Once they learn how to do these 4 basic steps, they learn how to shape metal.
So their first project that they do is they actually make a 2-inch wide bracelet out of, again, the material of their choice, usually copper or brass.
Tanya is taking his Jewelry 2 class.
But John's just super, he's got a really simple way of explaining things to make them approachable. Because if you walk in here and see somebody with a torch over there, it's gonna look like
welcome you to the Peoria City Council meeting. As a courtesy to others, please silence all phones. If you would like to address an issue that is on the agenda, or if you would like to speak to the council regarding a non-agenda item, please complete a speaker request form, which can be found in the front lobby of the Peoria City Council chambers or in the tray to the left of the speaker's podium. Please place the completed speaker request form in the second tray to the left of the speaker's podium labeled Request to Speak. All speakers will have 3 minutes to complete their comments. A countdown clock is easily visible on the left side of the wall behind the City Council dais. Only items listed on the agenda may be addressed by the Council. Since items presented as part of a speaker's request have not been listed on the agenda, and due to the requirements of open meeting laws, the Council will be unable to respond to items presented as part of the speaker's request. However, please be aware that your comments will be noted. The speaker's name will be called to speak at the appropriate time, in the order that the forms were received. Thank you for your interest and participation in the Peoria City Council meeting.
Council meeting will now come to order. Please rise for a moment of quiet reflection and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Youth Council Liaison Johnson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will please call the roll.
Mayor Carlett.
Here.
Vice Mayor Binsbacher.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hunt.
Here.
Councilmember Patena.
Here.
Councilmember Finn.
Here.
Councilmember Edwards.
Here.
Council Liaison Johnson.
Here.
And Council Liaison Gilbertson.
Here. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council meeting of April 2nd, 2019. First item on our agenda this evening is the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine or have been previously reviewed by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion unless a council member requests an item to be removed and considered in the normal sequence on the agenda. And tonight's consent agenda includes items that require a public hearing. So if there is any member of the public present who wants to address something on the that is a public hearing on the consent agenda, please complete a speaker request form and place it in the bin next to the speaker's podium. And I have received no speaker request forms. I have received a request from staff to remove item 7C from the consent agenda. This is to be scheduled at a later date. Council, are there any items to be removed from consent besides 7C? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
I'll motion. Second.
A motion and a second. Council, please vote. And the consent agenda passes unanimously. We will now move on to new business. And item 14R, this is a public hearing, annexation 75th Avenue and Acoma Drive. I'll turn it over to Mr. Tyne.
Great, thank you, Mayor. And no council action will be taken. This is just a staff presentation and a public hearing. And with that, I'll pass it over to Chris Hawkes, our planning director.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Jeff. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Item 14R, this is a proposed request for annexation filed by Withy Morris on behalf of the landowner, KMK LLC. The site is identified on yellow in your screen. It's a vacant site, and it consists of about 15.3 gross acres in size. It is located east of the northeast corner of 75th Avenue and Acoma Drive. The proposal tonight is to seek annexation request, and provided the site, the city decides to annex the site, the applicant is seeking to develop, subdivide and develop a 28-lot single-family subdivision on the site. Okay, on the screen is a copy of of the development plan for the new community to be called Acoma Estates. The parcel itself happens to be a result of a land swap between the landowner and PUSD. So you might recall that PUSD acquired land and buildings associated with the Challenger Center. So as part of that, PUSD traded 2 undeveloped sites that they deemed not needed for school sites. So one of those school sites happened to be in Glendale, and the other one was this parcel here. So on August of 2017, the governing board approved the land swap for the Challenger Space Center. So this site came into KMK LLC's ownership. Earlier this year, KMK went through the entitlement process through the Maricopa County and received approval from the Board of Supervisors for zoning for this 28-lot development. So should the city decide to move forward on the annexation, the applicant would then work through the city through its preliminary plat process and tie into city services. So that's ultimately what's desired from the applicant. So on the screen is a graphic that depicts the annexation process. This is a process that's enumerated through state statute. So the initial phase of the process is we take an annexation request in and we determine if it meets our annexation policy and decide whether we want to move forward on this case. So the city has determined that it does meet our annexation policy. It is within the city's planning area. It is a site that is surrounded by the city and can be easily served by city services. So the annexation has been filed, and what happens when you file an annexation is a 30-day period, and at the end of that 30-day period, we're required to hold a public hearing, which is what we're doing tonight. We can take testimony, but we can't take any action, any decisions on the annexation. So if we move forward, the next step would be that we have a year to collect annexation signatures from the property owner, and then we bring that back to council for final action. So with that, Mayor and Council, as I mentioned, there's no action being taken tonight. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Council, are there any questions for Mr. Hawkes? All right, seeing none, I declare this public hearing open. Is there a member of the public that would like to address this issue? All right, seeing none, I declare this public hearing closed. And as was stated, there is no council action to be taken at this time. Thank you. We will now move on to item 15R, Contract Valley Rain Construction Corporation, Peoria Auto District. Mr. Tyne?
Great, thank you, Mayor. And Dina Lund, our Development and Engineering Director, will present on this action item.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As stated, I'm here tonight to go over item 15R, which is the contract with Valley Rain Construction for the Peoria Auto District. If you look at the graphic in front of you, this is showing Bell Road. As most of us know in the Valley, Bell Road goes all the way from Scottsdale to Surprise. And in that entire area, the city of Peoria is responsible for 1 mile of that roadway. We have businesses that are on the east side of the river, but that section of Bell Road, where we have businesses adjacent on the south, that is actually Glendale. So only the section from west of the 101 to just west of 92nd Avenue is ours. And the amazing thing about that section, it encompasses 18 auto dealers, which is a lot of auto dealers in 1 mile. And those auto dealers, they bring in 1/3 of the retail sales tax to Peoria. Let me state that one more time. 1/3 of the sales tax we collect comes from 18 auto dealers on a 1 mile section of Bell Road. And as you know, we have an economic development department that reaches out to existing businesses and checks in with them. So on one of their many check-ins, they asked, what do you see as a possible threat or an opportunity for your area? And this was right after we did P83. And they said, to tell you the truth, there's other auto areas that are popping up in different parts of the valley, and they're being built as one planned development, and they have some continuity and some connection, and they don't feel they have that. So they looked at P83 and they thought we could do something similar on Bell, which is a great idea. So this is where we've landed with that vision in mind. We're looking at 2 illuminated gateway signs. So one on each section as you're entering our 1 mile section of Bell Road. Working with those dealers, we had many meetings facilitated by economic development, and they all agreed. We looked at, I think it was 30 some odd names for the area, and they wanted to be the Peoria Auto District. They love being in Peoria, they're very proud, so they wanted to use our name, which we really appreciate. But they wanted it to be simple, and they thought Auto District is the simplest, cleanest thing you could come up with, so that's what we're doing. We respect their decision, and we want to incorporate that. They wanted to go with a theme that is very clean and very modern, so that is what is depicted here. And for the median, they really liked those palm trees that we did on P83, and they would like to replicate that. And they like flowering shrubs, but not quite so tall. As we know that their inventory is seen from the roadway, and they do not want that blocked. So the palm trees and the short flowering shrubs will give them still that visibility of their inventory. With that project, when we had talked to you and we had talked to Economic Development Advisory Board, you asked, do we need to do any other improvements with that median? We don't want to make an investment and then go back in and do something. So we looked at the traffic and we realized we do need some improvements. So that's what you will see. If you're traveling westbound on Bell Road and you're trying to make a left-hand turn on 84th or 87th, sometimes those lanes back up into the through lane. So we're going to be able to extend those. That's why we're asking for additional funding tonight for those improvements. And then once we extend those medians, we will be able to landscape the rest of the median. So hopefully that makes sense. So the project schedule, we are working with one of our on-call contractors who's familiar with the area. There is over 40,000 vehicles a day that travel this section of Bell Road. So we are looking at doing the majority of the work at night. They need to take a lane on each side of the median to be safe and get their equipment into the median. So the start date would be later in April. We are using one of our on-call public relations firms so that they can meet with the auto dealers. We'll have a 24-hour hotline number. So we will be available to take any questions or comments. We're planning on completing it in August. But as you know, we look at the complete street approach. So we have two other projects that I just want to give you a heads up on. One of them is the 30-inch sewer main in Bell Road. It needs to be relined. And so we do that in place, but we do have to do a sewer bypass line. And then we also have a mill and overlay that is scheduled in this area as well. So as we're doing the auto district, and we're working with those dealers, we're going to talk to them about those two projects, the traffic impacts and the schedule that works for all of us. Because as you know, we cannot do any construction on that section of Bell Road between Thanksgiving and New Year, or between the middle of February and April 1st because of spring training. Yeah. So within those constraints, we will do our best to work together as a team and get the work done. But we would like to do it all in the next fiscal year so they don't have to see us interrupting traffic for a long time. With that, we are here tonight to award the contract to Valley Rain for $1.8 million and to approve a related budget amendment for $576,000 for those improvements for the traffic-related items.
Mayor, I may just make a quick comment. We're excited about this project. This is a major economic engine, this corridor right here, and it's also a very high-volume traffic area where both visitors and our residents alike really are exposed to Peoria. As a result, you really want to continue our efforts to really distinguish ourselves in these strategic parcels. So we're very excited about this project. Just wanted to pass it on. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And to add to that, you know, this 1/3 of entire city sales tax revenue coming from these 18 auto dealers, you know, we need to be aware of that and we need to respect that. I mean, these are the funds that pay for police and fire and parks and libraries and all of the things that all of our citizens use. And so this is not really for one group or just one spot, actually. The revenue from this really does a lot to build our entire city. So correct. I think this is really critical for us. Councilmember Hunt?
Well, I just want to say how much I appreciate the design of it. I'm glad they agreed, or the city agreed with them, whichever came first, but the clean line does not detract from anything else. It makes sense. If I were the auto dealer, I want people looking at my cars, not at the beautiful signage. And yet, one glance at it tells them where they are. I think it's amazing. And the wrapping of the palm trees, it all just really, really works. The low-level plants, I really like it.
Thank
so
you.
Whoever did that, kudos.
Will you be doing the other two projects at night during April to August, during that same time frame?
Unfortunately, because when we're working on the median, we cannot do the sewer bypass because, of course, it's not located in the same area.
Oh, of course.
So that's why we have to have further conversations. And the mill and overlay impacts the entire roadway. So, and that will be after everything else is complete. So it's going to be some scheduling, and we will come back and give you further details after we work with the dealers. We do have a good relationship with them. Economic development has really facilitated that with our department and with them, and we really appreciate that.
And I am sure you have a really good relationship with all those 40,000 cars that travel that road every day, right?
Yes, we get lots of compliments from them.
I'm sure. All right, well, thank you. We certainly appreciate this work, and we certainly appreciate our auto dealers. Council, anything else? Oh, Mr. Patena.
Thank you, Mayor. Adina, of the 18 dealerships that are on in that mile, you said you had meetings with them. How many of those dealerships actually participated in those meetings?
We have some that are very active, but I think the highest amount that we had at one meeting, I believe, was 10 at one meeting. But at various times, depending on schedules, I think there was 2 that did not participate. They could not make schedules work or did not choose to. But it was a high percentage and more than we actually expected.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I've got lots of motions and lots of
We're all in.
seconds.
Yes.
Council, please vote. And it passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next item is 16R, minor general plan amendment and rezoning, Bella Olivia, 95th Avenue and Olive Avenue. Mr. Tyne.
Great, thank you. And we have again Chris Hawkes, our planning director, to report on this action item.
All right, I'm back. All right. Mayor Council, item 16R, this is a proposed minor general plan amendment and a rezone filed by Reese Anderson with the law firm of Pugh & Lake on behalf of Bella Flora Communities. These requests pertain to a vacant site of approximately 12.79 acres that's located near the southwest corner of 95th and Olive. It's depicted in the red polygon on the screen there. If the requests are approved tonight, the applicant seeks to construct a 112-unit gated condominium development to be called Bella Olivia. More specifically, there are 2 requests tonight for consideration. So at the end of this public hearing, at the end of this item, we'll be asking you for take 2 separate actions. The first request is a minor general plan amendment. They're seeking to redesignate the property from low-density residential, 2 to 5 units per acre, to medium-high-density residential, 8 to 15 units per acre. And then a companion rezone. They're seeking to amend the current planned area development that has the property zoned for commercial to a planned area development that contemplates the proposal for multifamily residential. This graphic provides a closer depiction of the adjacent properties. Again, the property is about 12.79 acres in size. It's located near the corner of 95th and Olive. As you know, the hard corner is the current Quick Trip that's in place. To the west of that is a proposed Francis & Sons car wash. In terms of the uses around the area, if you go, we'll start going to the north. That is the flats at Peoria Multifamily, which is directly to the north. East of that is the Maranathan Church with some vacant commercially zoned property there. At the northeast corner, of course, is the Circle K that's there. East of this site, across 95th Avenue, is West Olive Farm. It's an area of semi-rural 1-acre lots. And then to the south of this development is the La Jolla Grove subdivision. And then finally, west of the site is an existing RV and mini storage. So contextually, the site is located near the signalized intersection of 95th and Olive. Olive, of course, is a arterial roadway. 95th Avenue is designated as a collector. 95th Avenue, if you were to take it southbound, will continue for about a half mile where it terminates near Park West. Along that route, you pass over about 6 speed tables to that area. This site is characterized as an infill site. It was annexed in 1984 and has retained commercial zoning since its entry into the city in 1984. So in a minute, I'll talk to you about what its current zoning disposition is. and what was contemplated back in 2002 when it was rezoned to its current PAD. But before we get into the staff recommendation, this graphic depicts the conceptual development plan. So the plan proposes a gated community of 112 condos, and that's about 8.76 units per acre. Again, these are all for sale units. These are not rental units. These are for sale. And as you know, we have very few condos in the Peoria submarket. The site is accessed both from Olive and 95th Avenue. You can see the indications of where those site access points are into the development. There are 16 buildings on site. Each building contains 7 units, and the units on site, they're a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. The smallest unit is 831 square feet. The larger, the 3-bedroom unit, is 2,140 square feet. These are all 2-story buildings with a maximum height of 30 feet. In a minute, I'll show you a conceptual graphic. But all the units are built over garage spaces. So the garage spaces are contained within the building, but there's also surface parking available throughout the site for guests. You'll notice the building orientation too, particularly if you key on the buildings, the lower center part of the project, they're all oriented east-west. So again, with that orientation, you can see that minimizes any type of visibility that might be seen from the single-family residential community to the south. The project also shows a central amenity area. I'll show you a little more detail of that in a minute. You can see that around the pool area in the center of the project. There's also an open space buffer that separates this project from the La Jolla Groves community to the south. And one final thing to point out, it might be hard to see with the yellow arrows. I'll try to indicate what that is. So with the buffer, with the there's about 107 feet of width for the buffer, the landscape buffer separating the single family and the nearest building. But if you were to look at the building, the nearest building from the nearest residential unit, that's about 151 feet. If you go to the east of the site in the center, there's approximately 216 feet from the nearest building to that housing unit there, just to give you a little bit of relative perspective on the separation there. This graphic depicts the central amenity area. So this area includes a pool, a spa, a built-in barbecue station, ramadas, and a shaded play area. This graphic depicts a scaled-up version of the buffer area. This will consist of a large turfed area for drainage and recreational opportunities. So in this area, they depict ramadas and also some movable soccer goals. There's going to be 24-inch box trees that will be located along the southern boundary. I will note, because there were discussion with residents about the type of tree and the location of tree, I'll note that the specific type of tree that we look at and the location of the tree, that's all open for discussion during the subsequent site plan phase of the process. So the point here really is to illustrate what that separation will look like from the single-family community. This is an early depiction of the elevations, just to show you the character and the massing of the development. I do want to point out, though, that this project still has to go through site plan and design review, so there's going to be opportunities to continue to refine the buildings to align with our design review principles. This is a depiction of the entry details. So this shows you what I think is a splashy entry detail, both from Olive and 95th, that provides a kind of a modern sense of arrival, if you will, into this development. So as we review a rezone, just getting into the analysis, we always take stock at what the general plan depicts. The graphic on the left, that is the general plan land use map, and that depicts kind of what is desired for the future condition of this site. Currently, the general plan designates this site for low-density residential, 2 to 5 units per acre. Typically, this is 8,000 square foot lots, and larger is the character there. I wanted to point out, though, that you'll note that the QT and the car wash are also designated residential. When we went through the exercise last year of kind of updating our general plan map, you know, those 2 cases were in progress. This case was in progress as well. We certainly didn't want to presuppose anything, so we just left the the designation of this property intact, just to let the public hearing process unfold. So that's why it's designated low-density residential as opposed to its current zoning of commercial. So if you look at the graphic on the right, that is the zoning map that depicts what you can build today, what are your standards today. I'll talk about the PAD zoning that the site has in a second, but you can see around the area, the apartment complex to the north is zoned multifamily. The northeast, northwest, and southwest corner of 95th and Olive is all zoned commercial. Property to the east, Olive Farms, is residential, 35,000 square foot minimum lot size. And in a minute, I'll talk about the PAD that we have in front of us. Okay. This PAD has been in place since 2002, although the commercial zoning for the area goes back to 1984. Back in 2002, the PAD that was brought before council was it was a larger 35-acre PAD. The southern part of the site became developed what we know today as La Jolla Groves. It was residential. The northern part was designated commercial, and so the PAD permitted C2 commercial uses on this northern parcel, and just for the public interest, C2 is intermediate commercial, happens to be our most widely used commercial district throughout the city. It's typically what you see at mile intersections, but it allows a whole range of uses from, fast food restaurants, services, retail stores, and the like. And so at the time that the PAD was provided to council, there was a site plan that depicted what was contemplated at the time. So what you see on the screen is the site plan that was depicted back in 2002, or what was contemplated, and that included a grocery anchored center and roughly about 140,000 square feet for gross floor area. Obviously that site plan never materialized. I want to speak a little bit about the traffic disposition of the area, because this was the source of a lot of questions with neighbors and a lot of conversations. So I know there's a lot going on in this graphic, and I'll try to break down the highlights for you. Again, the entry points into this development are from both Olive and 95th Avenue. Olive Avenue has a deceleration lane that for eastbound traffic that will bring you into the site. There's also a deceleration lane along 95th that will also bring you into the site at the eastern point. As you know, with any rezone application that we get, we do require a traffic statement or a traffic analysis. We require that it be prepared by a registered traffic engineer, and that was the case here. The traffic statement then goes to our traffic engineering division, and they look at the amount of trips that are contemplated, what the level of service is and capacity of the adjacent roadways, and what types of restrictions might be in place or might be recommended. So they took a look at all those things. And the other thing we asked the applicant to do in their traffic statement was to compare this development with if the site was to develop with its existing commercial zoning. What might that look like in terms of level of service and the traffic generation? So what this screen is trying to show you is level of service. If you think about the grades you get in school, A being the best, F being the worst, we use that for our traffic considerations too. So in terms of the different traffic movements, there is a left turn that would be permitted going westbound from Olive. That works with this project, but if it was to be zoned commercial, that makes it very difficult because of all the stacking that would occur along Olive. So that creates a very difficult scenario. Also a difficult scenario if somebody was to exit from this project if it was zoned commercial, because you can imagine all the trips that would be generated and the lack of an opening to do that. And so overall, when they look at the total number of trips that are generated, the residential generates far less trips than what commercial would generate. So just to break that down to you, if this was a commercial project and it developed according to the site plan, it would generate about 12,200 average daily trips, as opposed to 800 average daily trips for a multifamily residential project. So not only is it less trips in terms of average or daily traffic, but also peak time traffic too. It's a pretty significant reduction. And I spend this amount of time with this graphic because this was a considerable item of discussion with the neighborhood. As you know, with any rezone or general plan project, we do go through a public outreach process. And as part of that process, when the application comes in, we send a notice of application out to all owners within a 600-foot radius and all registered HOAs within a mile. And then when the project's ready to go to hearing, we repeat that same notification requirement. And also the site is posted by the applicant as well. We do require a neighborhood meeting to be held with any rezone application. In this case, we asked the applicant to hold a second meeting. This second meeting was held really at the behest of Councilmember Leone, who requested that second meeting, but also just in reflection of the fact that there was a lot of citizen interest, and we wanted to make sure that that they were informed of the changes to the site plan as a result of their comments. So you can see the two meetings on the screen. The first one was held in September. We had approximately 53 attendees there, and then the second meeting was held on January 29th, and that's where the applicant showed a revised site plan. I'll show you both in a minute, and we had 26 attendees. Overall, you can see the concerns that the citizens had. One of those was land use that they had. And I think it's fair to say that there was really no consensus on the land use. Some thought the site was probably better suited for its existing commercial. Some did like the condominium project. Some thought maybe it should be single-family residential, and then others thought the property should remain vacant. So there was quite a disparity of opinion on land use. There was some concerns also about the southern setback. There were concerns about the locations of buildings relative to La Jolla Groves and the perceived loss of privacy. So in a minute, I'll show you the early rendition of the project, and you can compare that to what we have today. There were also concerns about property values if it was developed as condominiums. So when we do a zoning analysis, we look at factors like density, we look at compatibility, we look at fit and form, and character of the development. And whether physical impacts truly can be mitigated and are they in the best interest of our citizens in terms of the general plan. Concerns about property values are tougher because they're often subjective, they're intangible, and certainly our staff isn't qualified to address those things, which is why they're not part of the rezone criteria. They're outside of things that we would consider when we look at a land use case. There were also concerns about traffic. There were concerns that this would generate more traffic. Of course, anything that develops on this property is going to develop some traffic. And we also have to be cognizant of the fact that regardless of what happens on this project, we deal in a regional setting. So things that happen in Surprise and El Mirage, of course, are going to produce more traffic onto Olive as they go eastbound and westbound. So we have to consider that. And then there were also concerns about the school capacity. So in a minute, I'll talk to you about those discussions that were held with PUSD and what their position was on this case. Okay, I wanted to show you the initial site plan. So if you look at the left-hand side, that's the initial site plan that was presented to the citizens. That includes a hybrid project, really, of 114 units. So you can see it consists of 91 condos, as I've described. And also, if you look at the smaller lots on the southeastern portion of it, there were 23 single-family lots. They were smaller lots, 50 by 75, and they about 3750 square feet in size. So again, when we think about some of the concerns of the citizens about the buffer condition, you can see with the single-family lots that it does produce more opportunities for that perceived lack of privacy that people might feel from the single-family context. So the developer went back and considered all of the things that they heard from the citizens, and they made, I think, some really good changes that addressed a lot of those concerns that they had. I think the buffer condition's great, minimum of 107 feet, all the way up to 150 feet. So it provides a really good separation from the two projects. I think the orientation of the buildings, on most of the buildings along that southern portion, again, reduce the perceived loss of privacy there. So I think some really good changes that were in place. And as you can see with the second meeting, there was far less people attended that than attended the first meeting. This item went to the Planning and Zoning Commission. They held a public hearing on March 7th. We had 9 speakers present from the general public. 8 spoke in opposition to this case, and 1 we'll describe that had general questions about the project, so we're in either camp. At that meeting, we also received a petition from 60 property owners. We mapped out where they from, and most of them were from the La Jolla Groves community to the south. That petition is part of your packet here tonight. Those concerns were that those that signed the petition wanted the site to remain commercial, or if not commercial, they wanted it to be low-density residential or single-family. Those petitioners also opposed zoning that they believed would increase noise. They thought this project would increase traffic and or affect safety of kids in the area. So we've addressed the traffic consideration, certainly, and the noise with the buffer, I think, will help with that issue. There were also concerns with schools and the impact on the property values, and we addressed that a minute ago. The Planning and Zoning Commission deliberated on this case. They issued a recommendation 4-1 in favor of approval. The one dissenting commissioner, I will mention, did like the project, thought it was a great project, but wasn't convinced that single family wasn't the right land use for this property. So that was the reason for that commissioner's dissension on this case. In terms of overall, for the life of the project, we have received 3 written emails in opposition, and of course the petition that I've talked to you about that's in your packet. We did receive an email from PUSD that they've indicated that the applicant has sat down and had conversations with PUSD about the project, and they've committed conceptually to a what's called a voluntary developer assistance agreement. And so with that, they've offered their support for the project. One other thing I should mention in terms of the comments that we received at the Planning and Zoning Commission, there were a few citizens that felt that there was already work occurring on the property. So we addressed it in the staff report. I want to address it publicly here. There has been no preliminary grading that's occurred on the property. Of course, we would not allow any type of grading to occur while this case is still pending for a decision. The earthwork that was seen on the property was a result of a haul permit that was provided where dirt was hauled from their other site at 75th and Running Horse, Bella Brisa, and brought fill to this property. But I just wanted to reiterate there has been no preliminary grading for this property, for this project. So overall, what are the key findings? We believe that this project is a great project. It advances the general plan to provide us with additional housing options that I indicate are not readily found today in Peoria. We think it better reflects the needs of the community and the change in the market dynamics. We've talked with you all in the past about the changing retail landscape and the reduction that we've seen in commercially zoned areas throughout the city, because a lot more folks are going to more of the online scenarios for their shopping needs. And particularly, this happens to be also I guess a non-traditional location for commercial in that it's not at a mile intersection, right? We think that this land use also provides a better transition than commercial residential, result in less traffic, and we believe that the standards that have been put in place on the PAD will elevate the compatibility rather than, I think, exacerbate and cause some conflict. We've also acknowledged that the project, a third of the project is going to be in open space. It does exceed our open space requirements, and it contains a range of amenities. And overall, we believe it's an improvement to the general plan. So, Mayor and Council, with that, again, there are 2 actions before you tonight. The first action is the general plan amendment to approve a resolution to redesignate the site from low-density residential to medium-high-density residential, and then the companion rezone to consider amending the PAD to allow multifamily on this portion of the site. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you. Council, any questions or comments? Councilmember Patena?
Thank you, Mayor. I think we all saw that from the initial site plan to the revised site plan, there was significant difference. And I think that the developer has done some very creative things to address the concerns of the citizens. I've seen the newer revision of the renderings. The buildings are actually quite nice, and I'm going to support this project because I think this will be a great addition to the area.
Thank you. Councilmember Hunt?
Excuse me. I too have seen those, and I think this really fits the direction that our city is moving, and I think it really fits the demand now for residents. This is the type of dwelling. This is very, very nice. The renderings, the facades, the east-west facing, the whole thing, the amenities. It's just a very, very nice plan, and I think it does fit better than the previous one that was a mixed site plan. So I too will be definitely in support of this. I also like the gated community. I really like this, so I will be in favor of this also.
Thank you. Councilmember Finn?
Thank you, Mayor. Very quickly, Councilmember Leone is not here, obviously, this evening, but I do happen to know that he's on record said that he does support this project, and clearly by his diligent and assiduous work that he's done on this, I will also support this as well, because I think there's been some major movement on that to kind of address those concerns, and I think we know Councilmember Leone is pretty good at making sure that he listens to the residents and responds. So with that, I'll support it as well.
Thank you. And I have to concur, I don't think ever seen a developer who has put in a buffer of 216 feet. That's incredible, and it really speaks highly to your desire to be a good neighbor. So I do appreciate that, and I know that you're going to come back with upgraded design standards, which also will help property values, although I know we don't really discuss property values during this meeting, right? But I do believe that will enhance the entire area. And so I have received no request to speak from members of the public. And so can I have a motion from the council?
Second.
A motion and a second. Council, please vote. Yeah. Well, we are voting on the minor general plan amendment at this time. We have to start over? There we go. And the minor general plan amendment passes unanimously. So now we will vote on the rezone. Can I have a motion on action 2?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, please vote. It works. Thank you. That passes unanimously. Right, we will now move on to call to the public for non-agenda items. And again, I have received no request to speak from any members of the public. So we will move on to reports from the city manager. Mr. Tyne.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. First off, I do see in the audience we have our Human Resources Director, Laura Engineering. Laura, if you can wave to us. We just wanted to acknowledge Laura and her outstanding staff for, again, her amazing efforts to put forward a wellness program for the City of Peoria employees. We're very proud of all of the efforts. It's a very multifaceted approach. But even more to that, Peoria is now one of only 5 cities in Arizona to receive the Platinum Level Award for wellness from the Healthy Arizona Worksites program for their initiatives. So congratulations, Laura, and to your staff for the great effort on that.
Thank you. Yay.
Next, we do have a short video that we're going to show you to celebrate the end of the spring training season. There will be a much more robust presentation, as you can expect, and a longer video at a later meeting with all of those great statistics and figures and analysis that we give you on spring training. But we wanted to give you a glimpse, an opportunity to recognize another great year here at the sports complex. Great, and John Sefton and his staff will again provide you a much larger overview in the upcoming weeks. The last thing we had for you tonight is a 3-minute video highlighting some of the upcoming events, including Party for the Planet, Music on the Plaza, the Dolly Sanchez Easter egg hunt, and Park Fest, which will be held at Deer Village Park. And we'll show you that real quickly.
Musical on the Plaza series. We have 14 events scheduled between October and April. You're gonna see a lot of diversity, a lot of different artists. They're releasing original music, they're playing the local music scene. It's really to create a space that's consistent for the community to know, hey, we can go check this out on a Saturday, and it's a perfect family environment. It doesn't cost anything, it's free, so can't beat that.
Let us fly, fly away with me.
What brings you here after all this time? Same thing that brought me the first time. I've come to look after the bank's children. Us? Oh, yes, you too.
We're about to lose our home. Everything's fallen to pieces since your mother.
I miss Mother.
Nothing's gone forever, only out of place.
It's a good thing you come along when you did, Mary Poppins.
How'd you do that?
Do what?
So you've been off filling the children's heads with stuff and nonsense.
You've forgotten what it's like to be a child.
Everything is possible.
Even the impossible. Off we go.
I need to see that. So thank you, Mayor. That's all I have to.
Thank you. All right, Youth Council Liaison Johnson?
I don't have anything tonight. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Patena?
Thank you, Mayor. On Thursday, March 21st, I, along with Daniel Murillo and Thomas Atkins and Jenna, attended the Luke West Valley Council meeting. We meet quarterly, and they give us some information on what's actually going on at the base and what's going on in Washington, D.C. that might affect the base. They talk about encroachment issues and noise. I do get a good number of calls from my constituents regarding the jets flying over. And the one thing that I want to make clear to everybody is Luke is very aware of that, and they try to do their very best. But they are authorized to fly 24/7 if they have to, because there's a significant shortage right now in pilots. So again, they're aware of it. They try to be good neighbors, and it's a topic of discussion every meeting. Also, congratulations to Laura on your Platinum Award. I'm a big fan of the Park Fest. The next one is in my district at Deer Village on May 4th. I guess we're having Mary Poppins as the movie. I can't wait. And we have free hot dogs and free kettle corn, soft drinks, and snow cones. So I hope that everybody gets a chance to come out and enjoy the evening. And lastly, I'd like to wish a happy 23rd birthday to Bridget Binsbacher.
23. Councilmember Finn?
Just for the record, that applause was for Bridget, not for you, just for the record. Just a couple of announcements. Residents in Palo Verde District, the big trash pickup is continuing. I will be trimming a large tree in my backyard over the weekend if you want to come help. Appreciate that, hauling that to the street. We have a couple of events at Centennial High School coming up. Relay for Life is April 6th. If you don't know, that helps benefit fighting cancer. We also have a shred-a-thon that is coming up on April 20th. And anyone who wants to make any monetary donations there, that goes to the Tyler Walsh and Willie Rojo scholarships from Centennial High School. So just a couple of little announcements for you there. And I wanted to mention the wellness program as well. It's a fantastic program, obviously, but I just want everyone in the city to understand what that does for you, too. That is helping keep your rates low. When you have a good quality wellness program like that, not only are your employees healthy, but your healthcare benefits continue to stay incredibly low. As someone who's out there working in business, I see what some of those rates are. I shop them every single year for my company. You have some of the most amazing healthcare benefits at some of the most amazing rates, and you can attribute a lot of that to this wellness program. So congratulations to you all, to the entire city for participating in it and keeping those rates down. So kudos to you all. Thank you, and happy birthday, Bridget.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you,
Should I say
Mayor.
happy birthday, Vice Mayor, first?
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Since it is my birthday, I'm going to, I guess, take the liberty of counting my blessings. And we had an amazing presentation today in the study session about just the services that we're providing, from providing food, fun activities, and support for our citizens. It's all about our citizens and putting them first. We have tremendous public safety, responsible quality development, all with the citizens in mind. I'm working with a great council and leadership, and this truly is the best city. Congratulations, Laura. He's talking numbers all the time. And I'm saying I so appreciate the commitment to being a workplace of choice and really encouraging a healthy work environment. And these creative, multifaceted programs are just one of the many ways that you all are doing that. Thank you.
Councilmember Edwards had to step out, so we'll move on to Councilmember Hunt.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, you may wonder sometimes what we as council members do, because we look so officious sitting up here, and we just vote on things and allow this and don't allow that, and we're just very official. But I just am here to tell you that we have a lot of fun things that we do that don't occur every 2 nights on this dais. Thank goodness they don't. I was fortunate to attend a Ladybug Festival, and I got this honorary Ladybug thing, whatever it is. And it was just what you might expect. I read a book, actually not about ladybugs, but about spring and colors. It was for preschoolers, by the way, so the plots didn't get real heavy. And then we released ladybugs. There were over 200 very tiny children out there that day. And it was in the morning, and moms, dads, I'm just so pleased, grandmas brought these little toddlers out, and they were so cute, releasing their ladybugs and talking to them and tell them to fly. And I'm just so proud, and it's what really makes this job enjoyable, is the fact that we get to interact with young and old. I spoke earlier about the things that we have at the community center, activities for young and old, and Dusty the horse, and all kinds of things you can't even imagine there. And we get to do all of that as a way of serving our residents and enjoying life in the... Also, the Cesar Chavez breakfast. This is the time of year that we celebrate the life and legacy of Cesar Chavez, who was extremely important in the development of many of the things that our workers have entitlement to today. And if you don't know about his life and legacy, you should look it up, especially as a resident of the Southwest. He was very important. So every year I take students from Peoria high schools, this year the Flex Academy, and from our Youth Advisory Board. I took about 10 kids to that breakfast, and it was especially wonderful this year because our very own police chief, Bobby Reese, his wife, Dr. Terry Reese was the keynote speaker.
Fire chief. Fire chief.
Fire chief, what'd I say, please? Fire chief, you know what you are. And she was amazingly down to earth, and the impact that Cesar Chavez had on people, she used her father and the example and how he taught them how important education was, and si se puede, we can do it. We can do that, so very positive. And then another morning took me to an intersection in Old Town to paint the street. And I painted a little bit, but basically I brought pizza for lunch and the next morning donuts for their breakfast. This was, we're going to do 5 intersections. We're going to paint them here in Old Town. This was the first, and it's right in front of the entrance into the Peoria Performance Center, Peoria Center for the Performing Arts. And it's a modern rendition of Masks of Comedy and Tragedy. And Connie Whitlock and Margaret Liu from Wham and from Peoria Accelerated School brought students who helped. And I'm all about bringing students to engage them, because those are the citizens of tomorrow. And the more we're able to engage them, the better suited we're going to be in our society. So if you get a chance, go by. Also, just a couple days after that, we had the Arts and Culture Festival or event, which we hold hands with the Peoria Unified School District Arts, and had a couple thousand people in Old Town in Osuna Park looking at the all the art from all of the elementary schools and high schools in Peoria Unified. In case you have wondered what the building was doing down by Driftwood Coffee, I'm pleased to tell you the amazing shelter over it and patio is finished now. It still gets a fountain and I think something else, but it's open and it's a great place to go and sit in this great weather. Wellness program. Of course, kudos to the leaders, but you know who this wellness program really depends on? That's each and every staff member. I live right behind City Hall here, right behind the police station, and I can't leave my house without seeing groups of our employees out walking together. And they're laughing and they're happy. I never was happy when I walked for my health, but I didn't have anybody to do it with either, probably. But they're happy, and the main thing is they're getting healthier. We have a mammogram van, and you know what? It doesn't do any good unless the employees go and use it. And I do appreciate how the supervisors encourage, shall we say, their the people under them to get out there, get your tests run, because we can have a great program, but if the employees don't use it and aren't encouraged to use it, it isn't any good. So kudos to all our city staff, and this is just a really happy place to be, with or without
You
my
look very
ladybug
happy.
hat. Yeah, I'm very happy.
Thank you. Youth Council Liaison Gilbertson.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to thank Councilmember Hunt for inviting me and many other Youth Advisory Board members to attend the Cesar Chavez breakfast. It was an amazing event, and I left very inspired. And it was just, I just wanted to extend a thank you.
Thank you. There really was a lot of people downtown this weekend for the Peoria Arts and Culture Festival. It was so fun to see so many people when I was walking around thinking, that's going to happen in that building, that's going to happen in that building, this is going to be expanded, this is happening here. There is just so much life that is going to unfold in Old Town Peoria. It's really exciting. And I also want to thank Councilmember Hunt for inviting me to speak at the Women's Club today. They were very interested in our Shade Master Plan, like everyone should be. I appreciated that very much, that they were interested in that. And they were a lovely bunch of ladies, ladies who lunch in Peoria. And with that, we are adjourned.
that. And then the show takes place, it starts out in the beginning with a beautiful station,